Can you hear me?
Yep.
I think I need another earphone because I'm hearing this tapping noise in my ear. Are you hearing that?
No.
Okay. We're not recording on. Oh,
we definitely are.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, boo.
How are you?
You know, it's cool. I'm here. How are you?
I'm straight. Another week, still tired. How was your weekend?
I spent my whole weekend getting sister locked, so I didn't have a weekend because I literally, it took 27 hours for these bitches to get installed. So that was my weekend.
It's crazy because, like, you literally stayed at my house and I didn't even really see you like that.
Not at all.
I mean, also because I was out of town for like a day or so. We were in Newport News for the funeral for my husband's grandfather. So we were down there for like a day or so. But like, yeah, this is my second day and weekend traveling. And I'm fucking tired.
And you have one coming up.
Dog. Not this weekend, but next weekend, I believe. So
take a break this weekend.
Dog. And I'm right back on the goddamn road. But
you are. Enjoy.
I know. November, I'm not doing shit. No move November. That's what I'm gonna call it.
I already told my daughter, like, I'm tired of being in my car. I'm tired of driving. No, I don't want to do it.
Like, I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah. I had to get a retie, my first little retie for my hair. The weekend before Veterans Day in November.
Oh. I thought you meant like now. I'm like, damn, you just left. I fucked it up already.
Yeah, so I guess I got to come up there once a month.
Yay.
Oh.
Oh, shit. Don't sound so excited. Hey, listeners, I hope you're a little bit more excited.
I'm driving.
Look, trust me. I feel you. And I'm so the driver who don't mind driving, but like, I'm motherfucking tired. Oh, real. And what are we on? Episode 57?
I was going to say 58, so I mean, sure.
Yikes.
Listen, for a couple of weeks, I stopped acting like I knew because I didn't.
You just like, look, you tell me. Look. But yeah, we're on 57.
Okay.
And this week, we are going to talk about trafficking. And we're not talking about $4.95 and $95. We are talking about human trafficking and sex trafficking. And what prompted this topic is, I'm not sure if you guys still watch The Breakfast Club. I don't watch it every week every day like I used to. But they had an interview with a lady named Toni Riveria. And actually, my husband is the one who told me to watch it. And then I was like, yo, Shay, go ahead and watch this drink real quick. And basically, she is a advocate and a survivor of sex and human trafficking. And the interview is about 40 minutes or so, and she just talks about her past and how she got into it. And basically, like, today she does I don't want to say searches, but I guess searches. She helps coordinate searches to try to find people who have been snatched up and stuff like that. So she talked about when she, I guess, first got kind of into it was back in the Freaknik days. And she was a teenager, and she basically, I didn't know teenagers were going to Freaknik, but she was...
for sure.
I don't know why I thought that was like college age people.
But I mean,
well, I guess that would be 18, 19 is college age, so yeah.
But even if you were like 16, I'm sure you could sneak in some stuff. I know when I was 17, we definitely went to Atlanta and was all up in clubs. So 21 and over clubs. And so that wasn't the Freaknik days.
That's true. So, back then they probably was like, the more the merrier.
Right.
But she basically fell into it because they went down there, her friends, and they was just going for the experience. They had no money. So they was like, fuck it, we about to start dancing, start twerking, and get it popping. And people started throwing money at them. She said that they made over $800 just by dancing on top of their car. And she was like, oh, wow. So some dude rolled up on her and was like, so you like to dance? And she was just like, hey, whatever. And gave her like a stack of money. And was like, look, basically in a nutshell, like, I can get you paid. And she ended up starting to dance. And then it went right on into basically like a pimp prostitute situation. But it started out consenting, I guess. She was with the shits, but then after a while, like, she didn't have no fucking say. Like, it went to a whole nother level. So she kind of talked about that.
Her story was weird because she was saying that her pimp was letting her go home.
Yeah, she said in the beginning he was letting her go home, but she was wanting to do it, I guess, because she was making money, and I guess, maybe he had some, type of mental control, which I know that they say that they usually do.
She did say she loved him at one point.
She was like, she didn't feel right if he didn't beat her. Like,
yeah, girl.
Him abusing her was like, all right, he's showing me love. Like, he must love me. But like she said, it got to one point towards not the end, but like later on, where like he didn't allow her to go home. It was like, nah, like, you have no say so, and you about to do this. So yeah, so that's what we're talking about, because I know I am pretty much oblivious to this shit. I knew it was going on because it's been in the news in the past years or so about the increase in how rapid this shit is growing. Like, literally, it's the second largest criminal industry in the whole fucking world. Not in the United States, but in the fucking world, with kids making up half of the victims, with the average age of victims being 12. That's scary as fuck. Like, literally, they're able to get their victims by force. They can, like, coerce them. Like, if maybe, like, it's someone that, like, their family's poor, they don't have a lot of money, they can entice them with money. They can get them, like, protection. Like, the girl on the show said she was getting people from church, my G.
Yeah.
They call it shopping, and then they have like shopping seasons and stuff. And she was breaking that down. And she was like, basically, she would be in church, and if people go to the altar multiple times, like, like every Sunday, these people are going, to the altar. She said she would kind of befriend them and be like, so, I mean, what's going on? And like, based on their problems or their needs or whatever they was praying for, she was just like, oh, I got you. Like, I can help you with X, Y, and Z, blah, blah. And she was breaking down the seasons, how her pimp would have her going to college campuses and basically picking up college kids. Like, nigga, we be broke in college. So imagine someone coming on like, hey, like, you having problems with this, or you need books. Like, I can pay for your books, but you know what you're going to do for me? Like, blah, blah, that sort of thing.
You know what's crazy about that, though? Did you hear the part where she said she pledged Delta? Because she was faking so well, I guess, on campus.
They said that the school actually thought she went there and she pledged Delta. Like, I'm just super fucking confused on how that goes, because that isn't just stopped at the school level. Like, literally, the nationals, like, it's like a whole thing. Like, I don't understand. Just like when DJ Envy was saying, like, he was going to do Kappa and he was like point something away for his GPA and couldn't do it. So he was like, the fact that they was going, dog, you have to have the money, you got to have the grades, like all of this stuff. Like, you have to be a certain year in college. Like, so the fact that she ain't had no transcripts to even send to the national organization blows my mind. But they said that they end up, I guess, taking her name off the list eventually, I guess, when they found out. But it still blows my mind that she even got to the point where she was one at one point. Like, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. But she was on these college campuses shopping and getting these girls for her. She said that they call them gorillas now, which I've never heard that terminology. But like I said, I'm kind of in the dark with a lot of this stuff. Because in the beginning, I was like, this shit sounds like prostitution to me a little bit. But then she was like, it's different. So, like, human trafficking and sex trafficking are different. Human trafficking is basically like a modern day slavery where they have you doing labor and stuff. Like, they have you doing work type things. But sex trafficking, with the name, is like basically commercial sex exploitation. So basically, prostitution by force, I guess, is the easiest way to explain it. But they said it's not prostitution because with prostitution you can be like, I don't fucking want to do this shit no more and I'm out. But with sex trafficking, it's like, nah, like I own you and you're gonna fucking do this shit until either I kill you or I'm done with you. So
I went and read up some stuff on her after I watched the interview. And one time she was forced to fuck 23 men back to back to pay off her pimp's Super Bowl bet.
Nigga, what?
Yeah. I was like, what?
Oh my God.
I think she talked about this in an interview. She begged a cop to free her.
Yeah.
And the police officer basically was like, he wanted to take her home and fuck her. And then she also talked about the time when somebody was trying to grab her daughter.
Yeah.
Off the train.
Dog, literally, while she's standing there with her other kids, holding her kids' hands. But I've seen a lot. That's how I got hip to, like, I guess this shit is serious, because I've seen so many videos on TV and online that they've caught people trying to snatch kids right out of their parents' hands, or like if they're holding hands, like they try to take them, or like if they're like a little ways away, they try to talk to the kid and snatch them up. Like, dog.
But that's crazy, because when you think about like how you grew up, and y'all didn't have school buses in DC, so
no, we walked
you
to
either
school
walked
or caught the
public,
metro.
Right. So like that
it could have been super easy back then. Like,
so this made me think of, remember the girl that is missing? She's still missing in DC, like Relisha Rudd.
Yep.
And they never found a body.
That's because I know everybody local feel like her mom has something to do with it, and like she might be in some type of sex trafficking situation.
Her daughter was really young, though. I mean,
super
not
fucking young.
Clearly, listening to these stories, like, it doesn't matter, because she was talking about somebody being 4 years old, trying to teach them how to suck dick on a cucumber.
I was like, yo, that's fucking disgusting. Crazy. Like, literally, like, locking them. She said that to train them, they would lock them in closets and not feed them for a couple of days. And the first thing that they would have to do once they got out of the closet was take a cucumber and practice basically giving fellatio. And if they were to gag, then they would put them right back in the closet and they would have to do it without gagging. Like, that's fucking sick as shit.
That's
like
so
for
gross.
Real. Fucking crazy. And it's like this whole underground world that, like, we kind of hear about it, but I don't think everyone realizes how serious and how much is happening. Like, she was talking about in the interview how this shit happens in plain sight. So it ain't even like they shipping motherfuckers off across the country or out of the country or whatever, or anything like that. Like, they have houses where they say at one point they was dressing them up like in the little Muslim garb to cover their faces, so that like they will be walking amongst everybody and you don't even know who the fuck they are. You just like, oh, like, okay, like that's just a Muslim. Like, they have the little head wrap, and like in plain sight, like, got these girls out here and they whole family looking for them and shit. And it's wild because you see so many like post about, I know for me, I would see like missing kids, like, this kid is gone missing. And in my mind, I'm like, either I'm just like, either they ran the fuck away or they were taken and killed. I never think like they were taken for human trafficking or sex trafficking until like in the most recent years when I started saying like, this shit is like really fucking going on right now. Like,
so I read this one story. So back in the day, I don't know if they still have it. That's why I'm saying this. But there was a thing in Maryland anyway called the Penny Saver.
Penny Saver. I heard it. Why does that sound familiar?
The Penny Saver had like coupons and ads and shit magazine in it. Yeah. So they were talking about how you'll see those job postings where it'll be like, call this number. You can make this amount of money a week with no experience. Da 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 da. And they were saying a lot of those are actually like ways to try to get people into sex trafficking, because they don't really list any information. Like, you don't know what it is. It's not like, oh, come and work in this call center, don't have any experience. Or sometimes it might say that, but it's undercover. Right.
Which a story that the girl told that kind of hit home when she was like, a lot of times they'll set up like a job fair or some shit for like college students, and they'll have them come to this like conference room or whatever like that, and then like you kind of check it out and they're like, you know, be on the lookout, we're gonna call you or email you or whatever, or text you for a second interview. And they'll come and have like, okay, they'll contact somebody like, all right, well, you know, I guess in that initial kind of scoping them out to see who will be a good candidate and shit, and then like they'll be like, all right, picking and choose, like, all right, we'll hit them back. And then they'll hit them up. And once they come for what they think is a second interview, they fucking drug them and put shit in their drinks. And then next thing you know, they're snatched the fuck up. And the reason why I said it kind of hits home, because like, I remember in college, they had this thing like, now I know as an adult, they're pyramid schemes, but they would try to get you to, like you would come dressed up in business attire and you would meet in this conference room and they'll provide lunch or breakfast, depending on what time it was. And they would explain like how you can sell this or do X, Y, and Z and you can make money and blah, blah. And then you're just like, nigga, I don't got the time to be doing all this shit. Like, but it sounds good because like you said, the advertisement be like, make $1,000 in a week. It's real simple. Like all you got to do is come to this 1 hour meeting and hear us out, get this information. And I literally have went to one in college. Like I went with a friend, but like still it's like, yo, that could have definitely been a situation where motherfuckers were getting scooped up. It was times where you would be in a mall. When I was in college, a couple girls got business cards handed to them by dudes talking about like, you know, you real pretty, like you seem like you can model, like you can make some real good money because we do print modeling and stuff like that. I'm sure plenty of girls got scooped up that kind of fucking way. Like she was saying, like just they prey on your fucking needs. So if they feel like you need some money or anything like that, like,
or if you're just young and dumb
and naive as shit, and just like this dude, like I don't got no, you know, I don't have no male figure at home, and this man is like taking care of me like a father figure, like he's buying me clothes, giving me money, giving me attention, like, you know, I'm, you know, like it's probably real comfy in the beginning, and then once you get in there, like you are gone. Like it's scary as fuck, like to be a mother of a mother of daughters, because listening to this shit, and we already have our worries about our children, both males and females, but just listening to this shit, I was like, yo, like you got to watch out for them when they little, because you don't want them to snatch them away from you. But then when they get to that preteen teen age where they kind of have a little bit more of a, I don't want to say leash because that's kind of derogatory, but a little bit more room to kind of, you know, breathe and try to have some independence. It's like you got to kind of talk to them. And she was like, yo, it's never too, no, the kids are not too old to talk about strangers. Like fuck that shit. Like have your kids stop telling all your fucking business. Because she was saying that was another reason why her pimp was able to like keep her, because he made her feel so comfortable. She opened up to them and basically told him every fucking thing, like where she from, where she lived, what her parents' names are, what they do, like all this shit. So he basically knew about everything. And our kids need to just keep some of their business to themselves. So
that's a problem. That's going to be an issue with these kids because of social media
they post
and they're wanting to put everything up there.
Yep. So even if they're not physically talking to people, they're going to be on Instagram or tweeting or whatever, like everything, posting pictures of where you at, and this is my house and this is my mama, like all that. Like it's scary as shit, bro. Like,
what was I going? Oh, a few weeks ago, before we even decided to talk about this, I read this story and I'm so upset because I couldn't find it. But basically, this person's daughter was kidnapped. They found her, but what happened was it was by someone that the girl knew. Like it was a girl that she was friends with, and apparently the friend was basically, I guess, recruiting girls for her uncle or something like that. So the girl was like, spend a night. And the mom always was like, no, like she didn't want her daughter to spend a night over anybody's house. But this one time she let her go over there. Yeah. And then her daughter didn't come back home. And it was this whole big thing. But the crazy thing is they went to like a gas station to put up pictures of her and actually saw her in a car.
Wow. What's the chances?
Right. and they were able to save her that way. And I was so upset I couldn't find the story so I could like read it verbatim and give y'all the source and everything. But that was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago that I read that.
But the girl on the and I keep saying the girl, but Toni Riveria that was on the Breakfast Club, she was where was I going with this? She was also saying that what was I saying? Damn it, I lost my whole train of thought.
My bad.
No, you good. Because I had started talking and I lost it. But yeah. Yeah. Lost all of that.
I looked up some other stuff, and so I was looking up the statistics basically, and they were talking about how what does it say? It says in 2018 there were more than 14,000 calls made to the National Human Trafficking Hotline. 62% of human trafficking suspects are African American, and then 52% of all juvenile prostitution arrests are African American. Wow. So that kind of pissed me off a little bit, because it's like 52% arrests of juvenile prostitutes. To me, that doesn't make sense. Because wouldn't they be victims?
Right.
If they're under 18, like...
That's I know she mentioned that as well, about the whole, she was trying to some kind of way advocate to change the law, because like you're getting all this time for prostitution, not even like you don't even know if they were forced into that situation. So they're getting like all this time, and she was kind of comparing it to like a drug dealer. Like, what are you going to arrest like the petty, you know, the nickel and dime person that's on the corner? Like, why not get the bigger fish? Because they can always replace that person. So like you're sitting up here giving all this time to the actual quote unquote prostitutes, when they could be a part of some type of sex trafficking ring or something like that. Why not try to work with them to take down the bigger fish? You know what I'm saying? To cut this shit out. So yeah.
Well, the other thing they said on this website is that white women would make these people more money, but trafficking Black women lands them less jail time if caught. So top of
what?
Yeah, imagine a Black dude with white pimps with white prostitutes. He gets caught up on some sex trafficking charges. He's gonna go to jail longer, you know, if he had them versus Black women.
Yeah.
So it's like, on both sides we're not valued. On all sides we're not valued.
Right.
It's like, damn, you're gonna arrest a minor for prostitution as opposed to looking at them as sex trafficking victims. You're not gonna give the offender a great deal of time solely because I'm Black and I'm not looked at as valuable. Right. And then, I mean, nigga, sex trafficking, like, that's already bad in itself. But on top of that, all this other shit. When I read that, I was kind of like, But then it made me think of Centoya Brown, that whole story about like when she killed that dude and she was in jail for like 15 years.
Right.
She was going to be in there for life if it hadn't been for social media and like
getting the attention and like them starting to advocate for her and get her the fuck out. But she was
16 when that happened.
And she's a whole grown ass woman now. Like, spent all that time in there. Like,
but I'm just saying, they came at her. She was sentenced like an adult as opposed to being a juvenile, being a victim.
That was a victim. Yep.
But so I have to play devil's advocate because as far as what's her name, Toni?
Yeah, Toni Riveria.
I don't know how to say this. Okay. Remember earlier this year when we were talking about the whole R. Kelly thing, and everybody's comment was, well, they chose to go with R. Kelly. So I feel like the same argument could be had with her because she admitted that she chose to go into that lifestyle.
Right.
So what do you say to that? Like, how do you have a case against something like that where someone willingly goes into a situation? Because there are people who are forced and drugged and held against their will and all that good stuff. But what do you say when someone willingly goes into a situation and it just goes south? Much like with R. Kelly and them.
I guess it gets to the point where initially, all right, I like in the beginning where she was able to go home and she was on her free will. I guess once they crossed that line of like, I can't fucking go when I fucking want to, and I'm being held against my will. Like, you know, with I'm assuming the whole R. Kelly thing, like these girls are locked in these rooms and all this stuff from the stories that they were telling on the documentary or the show, whatever. Like, it's one thing if like, okay, I'm just into some kinky sex, or I'm just trying to be a prostitute and earn some extra money and I go and come as I please, as opposed to like, I'm being held and I can't fucking get out of this and I don't want to do this no more. But every time I try to leave, like, I'm being forced to stay here, or I'm getting my ass beat for even trying to leave. And then like a lot of times they use not only physical force, but like, you know, mental manipulation and stuff. So I guess
I hear what you're saying. I just know how people are. So fuck all that. They're gonna be like, I mean, but she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was getting into when she started. Da, 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 blah blah blah. Like, that's just the consequences of your actions. You know, that's just how people are.
Right.
That was some of the response.
The people that they were saying with his ass.
Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think it's fucked up.
Right.
But I know other people will probably watch that same
like, you could have just like, not go back.
But, yeah.
I mean, and you also got to look at, not all of them are adults. Like, a lot of them are underage. So you're kind of taking advantage of, you know, the undeveloped mind and maturity of a teenager or a 12-year-old or a 4-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm sure the young kids are just getting snatched up. They're not getting coerced. But
right.
Yeah, like, I guess
the way I look at it, though, is kind of like when a dude sells drugs.
Mm-hmm.
We know that that's not the greatest thing to do. Mm-hmm. You know, it has consequences, but like, that gets a pass because it's like, you know, unfortunately, due to his circumstances, you know, his environment, that's the only way he knew how to get money.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the way I was looking at it after I asked myself in my head, you know, watching it, like, how would people respond to this? I kind of feel like it's the same thing. Like, according to what I'm hearing from her story in particular, like, for one, she was molested like almost her whole fucking life.
Yeah.
So her mentality,
her fucking mom's husband.
Yes.
Like, that's wild as fuck to me.
So
and they say her family was just like, oh, that she just fast.
Because she's fast. So her mentality going into it was just like, I might as well be fucking these niggas for money. Like, what the
right.
fuck? This
like, they taking it for free. Like,
right. So I don't know. For me, when she said that, it was like, okay, like, I don't agree. I don't understand. But it's not the same. But to me, there's a correlation. Like, your environment influences your decisions. Mm-hmm. I would say for her, that is something that happened, the environment that she was in. I could see her taking that road.
Right.
I guess.
Even when Charlamagne and DJ Envy was like, what can parents do to not prevent, but kind of talk to them about, to maybe help them? She was just like, you know, parents, like, be in their lives, talk to them, like, make sure that if that's what I was going to say when you were talking about the friend that was getting the basically shopping for her uncle. Mm-hmm. She was saying, as parents, know who the fuck your kids' friends are. Like, don't just take, oh, this is my friend Keisha and like we about to go to the mall. Like, know who the fuck Keisha is and know who the fuck Keisha's parents are. You know, like, unfortunately, like, the mom who let her daughter that one time finally go and spend a night over her friend's house, like, it's real fucked up. But like, know the fucking family who you're sending your kid for a sleepover or to hang out at the house. Like, make them come over and like really get to know who the fuck your kids are around. And like, I just know who the fuck I am.
Unfortunately, that doesn't always mean anything, because I've heard stories of, doesn't necessarily have to do with prostitution, but mm-hmm. people being molested by like their friends' parents or their friends' other relatives.
Well, shit, your own fucking family. Right. So look.
Right. And you could be hanging out with them and having tea with them every day and not know it. So, I mean, that part, I understood where she was coming from, but I just feel like,
I guess you have a better chance of having those open avenues of communication if you are in your kid's life and not just in their life, but actually talking to them, and not necessarily, you know, people try to like, you're not your kid's friend, but like, at least having the communication where your kid feels comfortable talking to you about something. Because it's parents out there that don't make it easy for a kid to talk to anybody. Like, they're like, I don't even want to say nothing because, like, you know, people do, they not gonna understand, or like they don't want to hear the shit, or they too busy to talk to me or whatever. Like, just try to keep those avenues of communication open. I know we get busy as fuck, but like, you got to make sure that your kids, if there is something to tell, and if they do get the guts to actually say something, that they feel comfortable to actually fucking say it.
When I took Mara and her friends to the mall the other week, one of the parents didn't even, I mean, I ended up meeting her, but it wasn't like, it was different. So the one parent, the first girl I picked up, like, her mom was at the door, like, oh yeah, I remember you, because she was one of the girls that came to the sleepover. So she was like, oh yeah, I remember you now. Da, da, da. We talked, we exchanged numbers, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The girl's mom, I walked with them to the door, and so then her daughter was about to come out, and I was like, where your mom at? She was like, oh, she's getting her hair done. Da, da, da. I was like,
she ain't even send you off? Like, she don't know whose car you getting in right now.
And then, and it's not to throw shade at anybody's parenting, but the little girl also was somebody that went to the sleepover, but she didn't get dropped off by her mom. Somebody else dropped her off. So it was like, I know her daughter probably was like, oh, it's Mara's mom. But at the same time, it's like, but you didn't meet me.
Right.
So.
And kids lie. And I'm not trying to say these little that kids lie. They could just like, oh, Mara's mom, and you got a whole almost grown boyfriend out these streets. Like, you need to physically know who the fuck your kid is going with, and see with your eyes that that's who the fuck they're getting in the car with.
Like, so I was like, nah, I need to see your mom. And I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking, like, I need to make sure her mom knows that I'm taking her to the mall. Because she might have been like, oh, yeah, my mom said it's cool.
And then now I'm lying and shit.
Right. And now I got somebody's kid at the mall. Like, right. I was like, no, I need to see your mom. So then she went and got her. But in my mind, I'm thinking, my child not getting in nobody's car.
No, fuck
and
no.
We don't meet. We not talking. I don't care.
Nah. I'm gonna have to know who the fuck you are. Like, you know how I be. Like, nigga.
So, and then, that same day, the girls were talking about doing a sleepover, and I was like, I don't want to have no sleepover at my house, so it won't be this weekend. So then one of the girls was like, well, we could have a sleepover at my house, but I have a stepdad, so I just don't think that's a good look.
Ooh,
and when she said that, that's what I'm saying. So I didn't know what it meant.
That's sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, it made me feel some kind of way. Like, I don't think that's a good look. Like,
I mean, what your stepdad out here doing? Like, what the fuck?
So then, I mean, people gotta listen. When I first married Joe and I had to go somewhere for work, my dad was like, so where's Mara? I was like, she's at home. He was like, with JT? I was like, yeah. He was like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. I was like, well,
what do you want me to do?
I'm already gone, and if you thought my husband was sketchy, I wish you would have told me before
I married him. Like, that's her whole stepfather at this point. Like,
yeah, but girl, you know, every now and then I'll be looking at JT like I will literally shoot every piece of your body off. Like, so I don't know. Yeah, that was a sidebar, but yeah.
Nah, I feel like, because of stuff that I went through in my childhood, I already am super paranoid when it comes to my children. So it's just, this added even an extra layer to the onion of, my kids are going to be shit out of luck. Like, you either deal with it or you stay in the fucking house all day. Like, these are my fucking stipulations, and it is what it is. And it's scary. Like, it's fucking scary to be a parent now. Like, I think of how much leniency, and it's crazy because my parents were the strict parents out of all my friends and most of the people that I was around. So the fact that I feel like my parents gave me more leniency than I will give my kids speaks fucking volumes of what the fuck parents was allowing us to do in my generation when I was younger. Like, I mean, like, house parties when parents was out of town, like, parents was letting kids go places and not dropping them off. They could just go catch Metro to their friends. I went to sleepovers, literally, that my parents, like, you know, because my dad was super extra and overprotective, which love him to death for it. He is going to take me. Not only is he going to talk to the parents before he says, yes, I can go. He's going to physically take me and drop me off there. He wants to see the parent come to the door and the exchange of you're walking into his fucking house. What time do I need to pick her up? Okay, be blessed. And that's what it is. But them same sleepovers, my friends was catching the bus there. Or like, I just, parents was like, okay, go ahead to the sleepover. All right, when you coming back? Or Sunday? Okay, be blessed. Like, I just can't even fucking fathom that. Like, I remember times where like I would just be like, I'm going to the movies with my friends, and sometimes we would, before we go to the movies, just fucking ride Metro, like dumb shit. Like, we just did dumb shit and ride Metro all day and get off on random stops and stuff like that, like just being dumb. And I just, yeah, all of us could have got snatched the fuck up. Like, what the fuck was we doing? Because we was all female, so it wasn't. Sometimes it was mixed groups where it was guys and girls, but a lot of times it was just me and my girls. So it's like,
yeah,
I would never.
Me and my friend that came up here this summer, we were talking about how we used to be violent, and I was gonna say, not even just about sex trafficking, but just in general. I just think we have to, as parents, find a happy medium as far as how much leniency we give our children, and also how strict we are. Because my mother did not allow me to do shit, did not allow me to do a thing. But my friend, she lived with her grandmother, and her grandma's rules were basically just make sure you up Sunday for church.
Oh, true.
We were out of there. Do you understand me? When I say we was wilding, like we were talking about this time, it was me, her, and this other girl, and we had to get somewhere, but we didn't want to walk. So we literally got in somebody's car that we don't know. And he was weird. And so I just started saying like little dumb shit like, we need to hurry up and get there because such and such is waiting for us and they probably looking for us and da da da. And so I mean, obviously we got there safely, but we were sitting in this house talking about how like we could have got our asses snatched the fuck up and never to be seen again. And she was like, yeah, the only reason we probably got there, because that nigga was so weird. Like the only reason why we probably got there is because I started saying that shit. But that wasn't the first time we did that. Like, we would just be like,
put ourselves in so many fucking situations
because we wanted to get across town, or we didn't feel like walking. We used to hitch rides from people all the time.
Dog, my well, they don't listen. Anyway, one of my best friends growing up, her mom was super fucking cool, like lenient, like do whatever the fuck you want to. She used to say, just don't get in trouble. Like, that was her shit. Like, just don't get in trouble. Like, I don't feel like hearing your dad's mouth. That's what she used to say. Like, she was like super cool. Like, my dad would do the whole like, I'm dropping you off, like I see, okay, blah blah. But once we there, we would just like run amok. Like, how the fuck you think I was going to go-go's? Because my parents was not letting me go to the Black Hole or no fucking Lapino, none of that shit. They was not letting me go nowhere. But I would have to go to her fucking house and be like, oh yeah, we just gonna kick it for the weekend. And she would just like when I say random shit, like we would hang out at like the Rex at night. Wow. Ain't nothing out there but niggas up to no fucking good, but we at the fucking Rec trying to be fast and shit, or like I said, going to the go-go's, getting on Metro. It's just so many situations, like even situations with hooking school and stuff like that, like where your parents legit think they could swear on the Bible, like, no, this is where the fuck my kid is, and I know that they're there, and I will be across fucking town somewhere fucking else. So if something was to happen to me, they would have no fucking idea, or they would be like, why the fuck was she all the way there? Like, literally, I went to school in DC, and it was times I would hook school to go hang out with people in Montgomery County, like in White Oak. Like, that's nowhere near, and I was catching Metro and buses to get there. So the journey that I was taking to even get there, if something was to happen to me, they would be like, how the fuck did she get all the way there when her ass was just in school this morning? Like, I'm so confused. So I don't, my kids got it. They're gonna have it bad.
One time I was in Richmond.
Ma'am, what?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I was in fucking Richmond, and the crazy thing is I was inebriated. So I didn't even realize that I was in Richmond until on the way back. I was like, yo, this motherfucking ride long as shit. They was like, yeah, we leaving Richmond. I was like, what the fuck? What are we doing? Like all the way in Richmond.
Hella wild. With everything going on with the human trafficking, sex trafficking. How about car accidents? How about that? Like, you you just get jumping in cars with people. I was in high school, and this dude that I was talking to was like, look, I'll drive y'all. I was going to my best friend's house, and I was like, all right. He was like, get in. Literally. Apparently, this motherfucker has stole a car.
Oh my God.
Did not know that this was not his car. We're driving. He's speeding. We ended up getting in a car accident, and he was like, run. I was like, nigga, what? Me and my best friend looked at each other and was like, bitch, what? We had to get out and fucking run. I was scared for my fucking life, bro. Like, afterwards, like, we got to her house. I was like, ma'am, like, what the fuck just happened? She was like, was that not his car? I was like, I'm assuming not. If he just wrecked this shit and left it there, like, they would be able to tie it back to him or his parents. So I'm assuming, like, this wasn't his shit. I didn't find out till months later that, like, yeah, he had stole that shit.
That was not his car?
Dog. Just dumb situations that God got me out of as a kid has made it so bad for my children. Like, y'all not, no. I would just have to be y'all Uber driver until y'all of age, because, like, no.
That's why I'm like, I don't. So the girl who did my sister loss this weekend, she was like, are you going to be one of those parents that are like, you know, I'd rather you do it here than to do it out there? And I was like, possibly. Not on no wild shit, like.
But just, you would just feel comfortable, like, at least.
Just would, though.
Because I actually know a girl whose mom was stricter than my parents. Like, when I say strict, like, she was not to be seen nowhere outside of the school hours. Like, nobody was really seeing her like that. Like, you couldn't come over her house. Like, she was not having sleepovers and friends over. Like, her mom didn't play none of that shit. Like, even female friends. Like, and I had knew her from elementary, junior high, all that. And, like, her mom was like, no, like, nobody's coming over here. So, but she apparently was the biggest hoe growing up.
But that's what I'm saying.
So it's like, if you're too restrictive, once they get either they're going to become a super sneaky motherfucker to get what the fuck they want and, like, be crazy slick with it, or once they get a little taste of freedom, whether it's in high school or college, they are going to wow the fuck out. So, like you were saying, it's got to be a kind of balance, but, like, I don't know that balance right now.
I'm in a different place because I have a 12-year-old. So I have to figure this out real quick. Like, when I went to Connecticut for work, the day that I came home, my dad was in the house. My daughter was not. I was like, where's my daughter? Oh, she's at the skating rink. I was like, so why are you here? He was like, I mean, because it's up the street. I said, no, I don't do that.
You wild.
I was like, I don't do that. I was like, whose parent was there? He was like, I don't know. I was like, Dad.
Oh, no.
Please go back up to that skating rink and get my daughter. Like, I really, and she had called anyway and was like, she was ready to come home. But I was like, no, I don't do that. He was like, for real? I was like, no, I don't. She's 12.
Like, you ain't even running past me like, oh, I'm letting her go. Like, what, you good?
Nigga, you don't even live here. You don't know these people.
Right.
It would be different if he, like, lived in the area and or he was familiar
with who she be
nigga,
with. Right.
You're supposed to be watching my daughter. How are you watching her if you're at home
at a whole
watching
skating rink and don't know who the fuck I know he was like
what the fuck are we doing right now? I was like, I don't know what you do with my brother, but I don't do that.
Right.
So,
he said, oh, for real?
Yeah, he was so shocked. Like, no, you don't do that? No, I don't. And see, with him, like, unlike my mom, he wasn't as strict, but I also had my older cousin and my older brother, and we all went to do stuff together. So even though I was the youngest one, it was like I was with older. Other people. Yeah. Like, my child is the only child from me. So you just had my baby at the skating ring.
Like, who knows by herself. Who? Right.
I don't understand. Like, I'm not doing that.
Gonna work. Yeah, I have more time, but I definitely need to figure out some type of balance where, yeah, I'm going to know where the fuck you're at all times, and we're gonna, talk about stuff, but still not be so smothering that when you do get a little bit of freedom, you feel like you gotta be litty as a titty out here. Like,
I can't have that.
Nah.
Because then you end up in them situations where somebody's hitting you up like, hey, you trying to make some money, or hey, you trying to do this? And the next thing you know.
Even though my parents are or were strict, I feel like they gave me enough space to have common sense and a little bit of street smarts, not as much as my friends that was out in the streets all the time, but like I had common sense to, even though as a kid, of course, you're still stupid, like you still find yourself in stupid situations, but I feel like I was able to navigate it a lot better because I was given a little bit more room. But I feel like if I was stuck in the house, a lot of them situations I was in, or I probably would have been in way worse situations because I wouldn't have known how to navigate or do certain things. So like I gotta find that fine line so that I'm talking to both of my kids, not just my daughter, about what the fuck to do out in these streets when they get a little bit of space. I need to talk to my friends that have teenagers and see what the fuck they be on. Like, how y'all do this? I know I got time, but still, like, what's going on?
You think you got time, but that shit's about to come around the corner.
No, it's going to go super fast because, like, literally, my son is going to be 3 in December, and I feel like I was just pregnant yesterday. Like, so I'm confused on how this time goes by fast. So I believe you. I believe, like, I'm going to blink my eye, and my daughter's going to be 17. I'm going to be like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
because I'm like, she's going to be 8 in less than a year.
Like, look. I'm crying inside.
And like I said, Mara is 12 and she's already like, yeah, so we want to go to the skating rink on Friday. And, you know, the other week we was at the mall. And when me and the other mom that was there were like, y'all can go, we'll just kind of hang back. She's like, so y'all going to walk with us in the mall? Like, we're not going to walk with you.
But we'll be around.
But we're going to see.
We'll be in the shadows.
So.
Hell yeah, because people get snatched up at the mall. Like, they snatching
the
motherfuckers
mall is
out
like
with
an
force.
opportune place for that to happen, I think. But the crazy thing is, there was so many kids in there. When I say so many, it was so many groups of kids that were just walking in the mall. I don't know if their parents were like sitting at in a seat in a little food court, or if they just dropped them off and kept it moving. But I know when me and my cousin used to skip school, we used to go right to Pentagon City Mall. Yeah. And we wouldn't be the only people our age in there.
So we would skip school and go to City Place until they started cracking down on kids being there during the school day. But even on the weekends, like, we would take over City Place. Like, it would be nothing but kids being obnoxiously loud, going in stores knowing you ain't buying shit but something at the food court later on. Like, dog, like, we was obnoxious, and like no parents was dropping us off at the mall. Like, literally we caught Metro there. And I'm just like, no, not today, not in this time. with the Montumbo finger.
Yeah,
like, it's not happening. So I just need to communicate, especially with my daughter, because as a baby she used to tell all my business. So like, I just need to be like, it's a time and a place. Like, if it's an officer and you're lost, that's when you give up the tea. But please don't come in here telling your friend's mama or even your friends at school all your fucking family business. Like, save something for yourself, and like, don't talk to strangers. Like, it's okay to be mean. Look at your brother. Like, be selective.
Another thing is what I tell my daughter is to be aware of her surroundings, because she wants AirPods, and I have seen her walking with her headphones, but she'll take one out. But with AirPods, you're not going to do that. Right. You're going to usually have both of them in there. Mm-hmm. I need you, and her music is loud.
Be paying attention what's going on.
I need you to pay attention.
Don't be walking, looking down at your phone.
Texting. Yeah. No, you have to pay attention.
Look around. If something is a car, keep on following you. Is it looking slow? Is somebody walking up on you fast? Like, you got to be able to react, and
So how I know she actually listens to me sometimes, it was this weird motherfucker walking in the neighborhood a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I guess I made a face at him because he really was weird looking. Mm-hmm. And she was like, Mom, he's weird. I see him in the mornings and I'd be like,
like, oh yes, baby. We looking, you paying attention.
Yes, that made me happy. Like, girl, you better be paying attention to these weirdos because we don't know.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
Listeners, I hope you guys take heed to everything that we've said. I did want to put we mentioned it earlier about the human trafficking hotline. Give you a little PSA, the telephone number, because we about to.
Us. We informative.
Yeah, we about to inform y'all out here. The actual number is 1-888-373-7888. So, if you see anything like that, or you got some information, make sure that you have that number so that you can report it. Like, it's like a big thing. Like, they had task force in certain cities and states that just focus on human trafficking and sex trafficking. And even Department of Homeland Security, they have a whole fucking, it's like called the Blue Campaign or some shit, where they have like a whole fucking website just based on human trafficking. So like, it's some real shit. It's some stuff that, like, even if you don't hear about it a lot, or maybe you are not personally directly affected, it's going on right under our fucking noses, and we just need to be aware and keep our babies safe, and as adults fucking be safe, because women out here are getting snatched up, grown adults are being snatched up, but definitely children and teens and young women are being snatched up. Everybody just fucking be aware of your surroundings, keep your children safe, and yeah.
Now don't say that we ratchet all the time, because look at us dropping gems and shit.
Exactly. Okay. I mean, diversity in these messages.
But now we about to get into the ratchet shit.
Facts. TV and T. And scene. I was actually watching a lot of TV the past couple days. So
did you?
Yeah, I mean, a nice little chunk of stuff. I mean, I know I'm not gonna be able to talk about all of it, because I'm sure you have not.
I heard somebody that I wanted to die on Power died.
So look, let me tell y'all. Thank you. Let's bring up Power. I can't stand you coloreds on social media.
You niggas.
You fucking niggas. Y'all will fucking post about a show an hour after this shit airs and ruin it for fucking everybody. Like, literally the next hour after the show is off, y'all are already making posts. I don't know if y'all get off on being the first motherfucker to post about a show that everybody fucking watches on, or majority of the people watch on social media, but it's fucking annoying. Y'all used to do this shit with all these other popping shows that I actually keep up with, and it's fucking annoying. And that's why I like watching shit that don't nobody else watch, or just binge it after the shit is gone, because y'all will fuck up some shit. I was scrolling on social media and saw a fucking meme that says something like, it's funny how Lala's best acting was when she gets killed. I said, whoa, all right, let's press play. We already know what the fuck is going on. And I was so mad because, like, the whole episode, I'm just like, all right, when the bitch about to die. But luckily, in my mind, I thought Tommy was going to kill her. So it still was a shock to me that Tasha actually killed her. Like,
so that I saw a picture of those two, and somebody was like, "It be your friends," and then the comments they was like, "Yo, I didn't think Tasha would be the one to do it, but I mean,
caught her first body."
Yeah, it was like that daycare shit only lasts for so long, I guess.
I mean, if she gonna teach Tariq something, she gotta be like, "Nigga, I'm a killer." But then what I didn't notice, because everybody probably watches the same shit like 40 times to like analyze everything. Apparently, the bitch lost her earring when they was fighting and tussling.
I heard. So I didn't even see it, but I know all these details.
That's because you coloreds won't let us fucking catch up. Like, y'all didn't even wait like 2 days. Like, y'all niggas was the same day. Like, it was aired. Like, y'all was in this bitch. But what I was super confused about, so after I watched the episode, it was like, you know how they do the preview of the next episode? Mm-hmm. Dog, the next episode is the last episode.
And it's in 2 weeks.
And so I'm looking at B-Dub like, nigga, there's a lot of shit to tie up. Like, this isn't a season finale. This is a series finale. So, like, y'all gotta tie up a lot of shit. Like, I need to figure out what the fuck is going to be going on with, like, Dre. I need to know what the fuck is going on with Tariq, because the cops are closing in on niggas. Like, now, by the looks of it, Tommy fucking is either he knows or he's assuming that Ghost or somebody has something to do with Lala being killed. So y'all gonna tie that up? Are y'all ever gonna address goddamn it, Proctor giving the little thumb drive thing to his daughter in a necklace and being like, hey, you know, if anything happens to me, make sure you use, like, it's so much shit that y'all have to tie up. Like, I hope this fucking episode is like 2 hours long, because it's a lot of shit that I need answers to, and y'all just gonna cut the whole series.
Didn't the show just come back on? How many episodes has it been?
I want to say
like
that this
6 or
season
8?
I thought this season was only supposed to have 10, so I don't know.
It's been 10 weeks, 9 weeks?
I'm assuming, yeah. Because I'm, if I'm not mistaken, I'm like 99% sure, like, at the end of the episode, they were saying that the next episode is like the finale. Well, and I'm just like, nigga, I need at least 3 more.
If I remember. I'll watch it. Since
The
it's
finale.
the last one.
Finales and reunions is your forte.
I used to like Power, but last season they lost me. And so...
You're just like, I'm not coming back. And once they lose your interest, it's a wrap.
I don't need to watch it because I know everything that happened.
I know
Dre was a bitch. I know that Lorenz Tate keeps making jokes about his dick. Like,
between the memes and the people posting the status right after something happened, or the people that live tweet during shows. This is not an award show. I need you motherfuckers to realize the difference when you live tweet and shit. Like, y'all will live tweet all the way through a show and tell people step by step what the fuck is going on with the goddamn show. This is not a goddamn award show.
When the Chatty Patties are on Twitter, they live tweet. So
TV shows?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Well, y'all know who running the fucking Twitter. Listeners, it ain't Dice. Because I'm like, we do? Yes, bitch, we do. Like, oh, okay. So
that's what Twitter used to be infamous for that. Everybody used to watch the same shows and we used to just live tweet about it. Not just award shows was everybody.
Dog. But maybe I'm just because I don't be on Twitter as heavy as I used to. Like back in the day, like Twitter was my life. Like I am finding out breaking news on Twitter before the actual news. Like I'm finding out everything. But now, like, yeah. If I'm on there, I'm just like being a fucking creep. Like I'm just lurking. I don't even post.
When I used to watch The Walking Dead and Scandal, live tweeting all day.
I miss Scandal so much back in the heyday.
Ah, Scandal.
Back when Columbus Short was still on there, he was still on
my goodness.
Back in the day.
You said way back.
That's what I'm saying. Back in the day, that drink was litty. So what else? So last week, the Reed debut on Fuse.
And I watched it.
So I was annoyed because my fucking raggedy ass cable dropped the Fuse channel earlier this week. So I actually caught it on YouTube because they actually posted the next day on YouTube. So I'm happy because I'm like, how the fuck am I going to watch this goddamn show if I ain't got Fuse? Like, what the fuck? They don't have, it ain't HBO where you can get HBO Go or whatever, HBO Now, whatever the hell it's called. Don't have to watch this shit, but luckily Fuse has a YouTube channel and they post a full episode like the following day. So bing. I was excited.
What did you think?
I feel like the podcast is better.
I mean, the podcast is better, it's longer. I kind of was like, this is their very first episode. So
I liked that they had Desus and Mero because I liked them too.
I wish the interview with them would have been longer.
Yeah, me too.
Because it seemed really short. Like they definitely edited some shit, you could tell.
Yeah.
But I don't like their set. Like, why the fuck do they look like they're in a haunted house?
I guess they're trying to have them be in a library because it's the Reed. So they're like, oh, we're going to put them in a library setting. But
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's kind of like old white money. Like if you have a study and shit.
They don't feel comfortable in there.
Yeah, I see how they try to throw some paint and some color on the chairs and like stuff like that. But yeah, I like the set where they do the interviews on. That was kind of
good. I like that. But the set where they're talking, I didn't like. Because I was following Kid Fury like way back when he used to work at this call center. He had us all calling on his last day. Like I'm a real fan.
That is funny. I used to watch his YouTube videos and he was funny.
So they used to have these. He had a couple episodes called The Green Experiment where it was him, Crystal, Asante, and Dustin, and they used to just be high, sitting on the couch. That shit was hilarious.
Yes, that joint used to be funny as fuck. They would either be talking or playing video games or doing random shit. That shit used to be funny as fuck.
So I don't know, for some reason I just expected like some real chill, laid back type shit, like not this whole.
Though they had the straight backs, like nice outfits, like they was sober. Even though they had like half drunk drinks, but they was both at the same height. So I was like, y'all really didn't drink that. And y'all are smokers anyway. So I'm just like, y'all look too sober right now. Like,
I'm just like, okay, we're just gonna
maybe because they're filling it out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And it was just like, like.
Because I didn't really like the first couple episodes of Desus and Mero show when they went to Showtime. At first I was kind of like,
no, I didn't either. That first episode, I was like, they watered y'all the fuck down. Like I was so mad, but it's getting back. Like and maybe it just takes, them getting a feel for it in the network to be like, all right, like, y'all can be y'all. Like, y'all don't have to be as, So maybe, I'm going to continue to watch it. Like, don't mistake me, listeners. Like, I'm not going to watch this shit because I love me some Kid Fury and Crystal, and I'm going to fucking watch every 10 episodes of the season that they said that they have. So Yeah, I was excited for them. It's pretty lit. I watched. Oh, so you told me about Dr. Foster.
Did you watch it?
I watched the first 2 episodes. So listeners, it is a show on Netflix that Shay told me to watch. Bitch, I could fucking never. I could fucking never. Like I want. It's like I want to tell y'all listeners, but I want y'all to watch this shit. But I don't want to give it up.
No, like, we could tell them about the first episode.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, so much shit happens after that first episode. So much shit.
No, I'm on the second.
I know, so we can tell them about the first one.
Oh, okay. So, damn it. Will you say it because I'm scared I'm gonna say something that happened on the second episode? Like, okay.
Okay. First like, okay. So first episode, we got a family. Wife, husband, son. I don't even know what the husband does. It's some kind of like entrepreneur bullshit. Fuck him. The wife is a doctor.
Liddy doctor. She's super popular and successful.
Right. So she goes to work one day, but she's wearing her husband's scarf. When she goes to put her scarf up, she notices that there is a long blonde hair on the scarf.
And she has short, dark hair.
Yes, dark hair. So when I first started watching this episode, I was like, I know we're not about to watch no damn, because I was watching it while I was getting my sister locks done and I didn't choose the show. So I was like, I know we're not about to go on no wild fucking goose hunt over no goddamn
my
hair.
Husband is sleeping with.
Like,
right.
I was just like, because in the episode, she is like supposed to
She definitely gathered that hair like she was about to take it for DNA testing.
Yes, and she was supposed to be at work and couldn't focus at work. And I was just like, girl, all this over hair, like, I don't know. You are wilding. Personally, I would not
not off no hair, because you could hug somebody and hair transfer, like
the
I'm
wind,
not tripping right, all like, of that.
So many things.
I'm not tripping off no hair.
But so when I first started watching, I was like, this bitch is really wilding. So okay, let me make sure, because
that's why I was scared to say anything, because I was like, I might say something that happened in the next episode.
So did you see the first episode was when she drove somewhere? Did that happen in the first episode?
Drove. I mean, she was doing a lot of driving.
Well, when she was fuck it. So I think this was in the first episode where she followed her husband.
Yes.
Okay. So she is crazy as fuck. She follows her husband around town. She sees him buy these flowers. So now she
bought the Kirk.
Yeah. And then, you know, she follows him some more. This motherfucker ends up at like a home where his mom is at. And so
it's like an old folks home.
Yeah, nursing
But why
home.
did she go in? Why didn't she just be like, oh, it's the old folks home?
She went in because I think it was just like, I was being crazy.
No. But he didn't see her follow, so why didn't she just be like, let me back the fuck up? But like, this bitch went in and was like, so I kind of thought that, you know.
But I think it was just her way of being like, yo, I was really wilding, like, and I think she told him all that, like, yo, I really was tripping, but like, we good.
You're right.
And, you know, because she had told him, she was like, you know, you get off work at 4 or 5, but you don't come home until 7 every day. Like,
so what's going on in that extra time?
Right. And he was like,
he was like, I'm coming here.
I come here to see my mom. So she's like, okay, well, let's just go back and visit with your mom. Da, da, da. So at the end of it, when she's about to leave out, she has to sign out. And she asked the lady at the front desk, like, do you have to sign in every time you come in here? And the girl was like, yeah, like, that's most definitely, it's against our policy. We don't let nobody in without signing in. She goes through the book. Bitch. Her husband's
not in there every day.
Ain't in there every goddamn day.
Hell the fuck no.
So now
I was like, ooh, spicy mommy, what you about to do?
Right. So now we back on crazy. So I'm confused too on what happened on, because now
that's what I'm scared to say. Maybe you know what? This is what we're gonna do. This is going to allow me to watch more episodes. And listeners, that is going to give y'all a little teaser taste on what the fuck. Because let me tell you something. I only watched 2 episodes. And what Shay just told y'all, way more fucking shit pops off.
Did you get to the birthday party?
Yes.
Girl. Let me tell you something.
Look, I could never. That's why that is the first line that I said. Bitch, I could never. So listeners, our faithful listeners, please go check out this fucking show, because next episode we are going to deep dive into this fucking show, because I will be the fuck caught up.
And just so y'all know, it's only 8 episodes and it's 2 seasons per 2 seasons, 8 episodes per season.
So look, you have time. You fucking have time. Y'all not working 8 hours a day at y'all job.
Y'all will want to know what happened.
You will want to know, and if you don't, you're gonna have to fast forward this next episode because we're gonna fucking talk about that shit. It's good. Like I said, 2 episodes in, I'm hooked. I need to know what the fuck is going on because shit gets real.
Yeah.
So speaking of Netflix,
don't tell me I want to watch it. Everybody's been talking about it.
About Fractured?
Yeah.
Okay. Listeners, you guys go watch that shit too.
Is it a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
Okay, I'll watch that. We'll talk about it next week. But I've seen like 5 people talk about it on Facebook, and none of them are related.
Don't go on my don't go on my page in the comments because there are definite spoilers on my page. So don't. So yeah, I posted about it earlier today. Like me and B-Dub watched that shit last night, and yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about it next episode. So we're gonna put that on the docket for next week. Fractured.
See, look at us. We're in sync.
Dr. Fuck. In this bitch. So I watched the first episode of Rhythm and Flow, which is also on Netflix. Like I was having like a Netflix week.
Oh, I did watch the first episode of that. Mara made me watch it.
So I actually like it. I was worried about it. I was like, another fucking show where we trying to find the best talent. Like, didn't Jermaine Dupri just have the fucking rap game? Like, what are we doing at this point? Like,
but I like it because they get to cuss and beat them whole selves on Netflix.
I like it because it's real. Like, it ain't fake where they're sitting up on NBC trying to have the straight backs in their outfits and being like, well, it's a no for me, dog. Like, no, it's not American Idol. It's not America's Got Talent. It's none of that shit. Like, I like that it's real. I actually like how it's shot. Like, I don't know, the videography of it. Like, I like it. Super sad because the first episode was the Los Angeles auditions, and Nipsey Hussle was one of the first people that T.I. had linked up with. And it's just like,
yeah.
It's trash. But Uncle Snoop was on this joint, of course, because they was in LA. And the auditions was just, they actually have some good talent, and I like it because they don't have the shit that like the other shows do where you have like extremely terrible people and you're just like, why are you even here? Like, this is filler. Like, they had a couple that we were just like,
what happened?
What happened? Like, were you nervous? But like, they have people that have actual fucking talent. And I don't know, I like this show. Like, I'm fucking with it.
Mara said that that's going to be our family show together. And I was like, what she said? I said, my family show with my family was like TGIF.
Dog, like, I was about to say Family Matters.
Boy Meets World and shit. Right? Like, we watching Cardi B.
Rhythm and Flow.
Yikes.
Talk about she's selling titties and ass. Like, yeah.
I was like, times have definitely changed, I guess. Because
that's like, I'm with it though, because the show's lit. But I'm with it. And listeners, in case you just like, what the fuck is Rhythm and Flow? I be talking like y'all automatically know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's on Netflix, so you can catch up on that as well. We're both only 1 episode in, so
yeah,
you got time. It's basically a show where the judges are Cardi B, T.I., and Chance the Rapper, and they are looking for like the next big rap star. And so they started in LA having auditions, but then they're going to go to their respective cities to also do auditions. So obviously New York, Atlanta, and Chicago. So the next episodes, like I think each episode is the audition for each city or whatever. But and then I think they are going to release. This is a binge thing. So
I was just about to say that
an episode per week. So we can all catch up, y'all. And
so now, when I looked, they had 3 episodes out. Mm-hmm. Then the next week they were going to release 2, then 2, and then 1. And let me just say that Netflix and Hulu can kiss my ass, because that was the whole reason why I liked those platforms, because I could binge watch. Mm-hmm. This whole waiting a fucking week, I don't like doing that anymore.
Yeah, that's like regular cable. And I'm just like, I don't have the patience.
I haven't caught up with most shows because I'm like, I'm waiting for that shit to come on Netflix, because I just want to watch it all in one. Because, like, for instance, with Dr. Foster, the first season I watched straight through. But when the second season came out, I was like, oh, okay.
What am I supposed to do?
I was just like, no, on this weekend when I was watching it, I was like, I need to know what's happening because this is stressing me out. So I Googled it because I don't have time to be anxious.
So on this show, Dr. Foster, they release those each week?
There's only 2 seasons. They haven't confirmed if they're going to have a 3rd season or not.
Oh.
But I was impatient because I wanted to know what the fuck was going on. So I Wikipedia the second season before I finished
watching it. You even
watching
watched it?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I need to watch this because this story is lit.
But it was stressing me out, and I don't like to be anxious over shows. And when you release them
don't watch Fracture.
Well, that's a movie, so I can figure it out.
You're gonna get that off in a couple hours.
But if it was some bullshit where like, I know everybody used to like that back in the day. Oh, cliffhanger it used to piss me off. A cliffhanger and then the season ends and I gotta wait all summer.
I used to fucking hate when a season finale and it's like some big looming question or situation and it's like you said, a cliffhanger and you literally have to wait.
No.
Like wait, what? So I gotta wait all this time to figure out what the fuck is going on. And most times out of 10, they ain't gonna address it in that first fucking episode back either. I'd be like, you bitches.
Yeah.
I need to fucking know what happened. Who killed him?
I want to watch everything and know by the end of my binge that this is
I got
all
happened. My questions answered.
Yes.
I'm destiny fulfilled.
For sure. Like, I don't have time.
Let's see what else. Shows. Oh, we touched on it last week. The next episode I don't think comes on. It'll be out by the time this episode dropped, but for us, it doesn't come on until tomorrow. The second part of the Basketball Wives reunion. Let me tell you something. I already did not care for OG. Not a fan. But I don't like the dropping of the colorism thing. I don't.
No, I don't like that either.
I don't. Like, I you can say I'm with you with the whole, like, why are you trying to make me feel like I'm the only person who be fighting on this show, which, yeah, or arguing on this show when other people clearly do it. Like, okay, like, that argument, I will hear you out more than it's a colorism thing. Because you're not the only, even though you're darker skinned, you're not the only brown girl on this fucking show. And you're not the only messy brown girl on this show. Yeah. So please, Jen been doing this for years, my nigga. So like
Malaysia threw a table.
A whole ass table just last season. Like the end of last season. So I just don't like that she threw that out there to make it seem like y'all are just treating me differently because I'm dark skinned. Or I'm brown skin. Like, I did not like that at all. Like, that shit blew the fuck out of me. And now, of course, Shawnee is having to defend herself and do this whole separate interview about colorism because I'm sure there's people that, how social media is like, yeah, you know what? They are all light skinned.
No, I read a bunch of comments about how they are treating OG that way because she is darker and she's unapologetically African. Like,
oh my God, no.
I'm just letting you know what I heard.
No, I know that because I've been seeing this shit too. And I'm just like, yo, no, they've shaded light skin, dark skin.
I honestly don't think it's a colorism thing. I think it's a Shawnee thing.
I think it's just a cliquish thing. Yeah, it's just a click. It don't have nothing to do with your color.
You can wild out and, you're good. But if she don't fuck with you and you do some shit,
she gonna try to hold your feet to the fire more than she holds her own friends or who she cool with. But I don't like the colorism thing because, it's just not a good look. Like,
it's lazy. Yeah. It's just like,
come with a better argument.
You know how to push buttons of people. Like,
but dog, you came all the way back on the show after leaving to like speak your piece, and that's the best you could come up with. Like, you want to go toe to toe and go back to back, and then like say some real shit. Like, speak on how you really feel. But like, I don't know. Like, I just didn't like that shit. Like, that was lame.
I will say, I have never heard Evelyn refer to herself as Afro-Latina, though, until all of this. Not saying that she isn't, just saying that I never heard her refer to herself
But I've never heard them talk about race or anything. So, like, all of this is just, like, I don't know. Like, we're in this day and age where niggas is hypersensitive about certain things. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. Not
whatever.
A fan of loners. What other? Oh, Married in Medicine, our shit. What happened on this last episode?
Not a goddamn thing.
I was like, what happened?
They had another goddamn bullshit sisters retreat that failed.
Oh,
I want them to stop
and that weak ass house, like that weak ass fucking house, and like, did that budget get cut or something? Because I'm confused on why they are not going to sexy places. They're literally going to like Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama. Like what?
They usually go to the sexy trip with their husbands on Married to Medicine.
Yeah, that's true. They do have like the couples retreat.
So maybe they're holding off on the budget until that trip.
Yeah, maybe the coins they trying to. Yeah,
I want them to stop these sister retreats though.
It was
They're
a whole
fucking lame.
epic fail because even right after it happened, before they even got on the bus properly, all hell broke loose again. Like, yeah, and Quad, I'm over you. Like,
oh my God, Quad is just.
I used to really like Quad. Them first couple of seasons, you and Mariah was my bitches. And it wasn't because y'all had a falling out and I picked one or the other, because it was a whole couple seasons where I was like, Quad, I see, like, Mariah messy as fuck. But bitch, you getting on my nerves. Like, literally, like, I don't know what's going on with you, but you belong me. Like, you're doing way too much. You're super extra. Like, I can't. So it's Heavenly. Like, you're blowing me. Like,
Heavenly been messy. I honestly don't like
I used to, but I don't like Heavenly because she will jump in other people's business, I think we was talking about this, like, she can say whatever the fuck she wants out her mouth, but expect other people to like, oh, like, why would you say that? Like, that's disrespectful. That's not X, Y, and Z. But like, you didn't, the first thing out your mouth to everybody is your mother, or like, you don't want to be called out your name, but you calling people bitches. Like, it's just the most. Like, I can't deal with her, and she's super over the top, but like, nobody checks her on her shit like that. Like, I'm over her.
Yeah, I never really, I mean, she can be funny. She has funny moments, but I never really saw for her because of that. Like, she would have got popped.
Dog,
but that's just me.
Let me have been one of them doctors or the doctor's wife. She definitely would have got popped on. It would have been like Toya and Mariah tussling by the pool. Like, she would have been in that fucking pool. Like, I can't deal. The shit she say, and she just too much. And I think with both of them, they think the louder you are, the more right that makes you. Like, bitch, just because you yelling over me and I'm not getting my point out is not making your point more valid. Like, bitch, you look stupid.
Yeah. Bitches on that show talking about money. Money is quiet, but then bragging about the money they have.
I don't like that new bitch, Buffy. What's her name, Buffy?
Yeah.
Bonnie Buffy? I don't know.
She looked like a Buffy.
Dog.
She's annoying.
You're annoying as shit. Like, for real. Like,
I can do without her.
Somebody's friend, she got the hookup to get on the show, and now she's just being extra.
I'm still ready for Contessa to go. She's boring.
Yeah, she's super boring.
What storyline does she have now that she's not in college anymore?
Exactly. That now her husband, now that she didn't finally gave up her college thing and getting her master's or whatever, her husband still isn't happy, and so now it's probably gonna be her failing marriage. She's probably gonna be the next one getting a divorce. Who knows?
Ooh. Yikes! I don't have no more wine.
I'm just saying, what other storylines her born ass gonna have besides them not being together? Like,
Real Housewives of Atlanta's coming on soon,
and I can't wait.
Kenya messy ass gonna be back on there. So
yeah, you know it's gonna be a whole lot of mess. And her nigga ain't together, so you know,
and
niggas
you know
gonna
them
be
cameras
coming.
was there filming.
You know them, they gonna be waiting for it. I'm sure Nene like, oh, so the budget ran out for you. Your rent a husband. God. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. T. Oh, did you have any shows?
No. That was all I watched.
So, our sis, Kiki Wyatt, is having another fucking baby. She posted on her social media that she is expecting her 10th fucking child. Now, I don't know. I don't follow Kiki that much, but is she still dropping albums? Because I'm just trying to figure out how she's financing this huge
She is dropping albums still.
She is? Okay.
Like, I said she dropped one in the last 2 years.
Well, good, sis. Because look, these coins, your fan base must be very loyal. And like, she can sing her face off. So this is no shade to her. Like, she definitely can sing like a motherfucker. I just didn't know if she was still putting out music, because I'm like, her and Avant's hits must still be raking in the dough, because I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck are you doing. R&B Divas is no longer on. So I'm just trying to figure out where these coinages are coming from for these 10 offsprings. Like,
I was reading her comments, and apparently she's told one of her friends she wanted to have 10 kids, because one of them was like, you said you wanted to have 10 kids, and here you are, girl, bless up. And
so that has always been her goal, number 10.
I am not in control of anyone else's uterus. So if you want 10 kids and you can afford 10 kids, then go off.
Blessed, beloved.
But I am one and done. No. And so
look,
that's
I don't know the mannerisms of her children, and maybe she has a nanny. I don't know. But I, at a minimum, wanted 3. But then I had a son by the name of Caleb.
Little saint.
And my uterus has been put on pause for the rest of my life. I did not make it to 3. So I'm 2 and done. Because him, glory, I don't need no more children. I don't. Unless in the next, well, I'm old, so I don't know. I was about to say the next couple years, but I ain't got a couple years. So look, it's done. I was gonna say maybe in the next couple years he'll grow up and like calm down, and then I'm like, oh, okay, it's not. No, I don't have that much time. I would have had to be getting pregnant like now in order for this shit to work, and yeah,
that's not happening.
He has not calmed down. Oh. So the answer is it's a no for me, though.
10 is just.
So unless I am filthy rich and I can afford nannies, chefs, and my mama lives with me, nigga, 10. Who's helping? Who's changing these diapers? Who's dealing with these sick kids and their illnesses? Who's helping with homework? Who's buying clothes? Who's doing hair if you got daughters? I don't have time or patience.
So since we're on this, I want us to talk about the raggedy men that were in her comments.
Oh, it was men in her comments?
Yes. One in particular that pissed me off. So y'all in here praising her for having all these kids, but y'all tear down men like Future. Keke Wyatt is on her 3rd marriage now. I don't know if that's good or bad, but her children are from her husband.
Right. Not
Future is literally sticking. Thank you. He's sticking his dick in anything. He's having babies. He's also not claiming some of these babies.
Taking care
of some of these babies. He's fucking disgusting. There's a difference between being married and having children, right, and just being a whore.
Just out here laying low and spreading it wide.
Like, who even looks at Keke Wyatt and says, this is not fair to my nigga Future? Like, I don't even understand how that even
Apples
happens.
And fucking oranges.
Like, it's not the same thing, sis. It's not. They're not even in the same field, genre, age bracket. Like,
none of that.
Cut it out. Stop caping for Future. He's trash.
I need y'all. The Future High. What they call them, the Future High. Like, y'all need to chill.
I don't know what they call themselves, but get y'all damn STD checks. How about that?
Ooh, all right, let me move on. So, another fucking Black person was killed in their own fucking residence.
Yes, this isn't tea. This is sad, but
this is definitely sad, but dog, this shit is fucking ridiculous. So, I think you pronounce her name Atiana Jefferson. Mm-hmm. She was killed in her own home. I don't know if it's an apartment or I don't know if it was a house.
Was it her home? I thought it was somebody else's home, like in her family.
I don't know. I thought it was hers. There could be updates that I am just not abreast of.
It was a resident it was a home that she was supposed to be in.
Got it. She was in there playing video games. And apparently the front door was a little bit ajar. And one of the neighbors was like, hey, I'm calling the non-emergency number, not even 911. I'm calling the non-emergency number because I just want somebody to make sure that my neighbor is okay because it's kind of late and it looks like their door is not closed all the way. Can you just come and check it out? That's it. No crazy, oh, some shit is going on. Help me. What's going on? None of that. And this fucking Aaron Dean, a Fort Worth, Texas police officer who has only been a cop, I think, for like a year, comes to check out the place and fucking shoots her through the window and kills her. He did not even go into the home. He did not knock on the door to, I go in here and, oh my gosh, I feel threatened. But he went to he even used the term a perceived threat. How the fuck is it a perceived threat when the person is in the home and you are outside of the fucking window? Apparently she was playing video games. And let me tell you how media will try to twist some shit and make you think some shit. So in a couple of articles me and my husband were talking about, they try to say that there was a weapon. Woman shot and weapon found in residence. She did not have the weapon. the weapon was not near her. The weapon, which was a legal weapon for whoever owned it, was in the home after everything happened, and they was searching and doing the crime scene stuff, and it was like, oh, okay, it was a weapon in here. It's not like she was holding a gun, or the gun was laying beside her on a couch, and he seen it and was like, oh, I'm about to kill her. None of that.
But let's say she did have she didn't, but let's say she did have the weapon. The article I read was that she was playing video games with her nephew, I want to say, and she stopped and got up to investigate hearing a sound in the back of the home, which was the cop. So if playing devil's advocate once again,
if she did grab the weapon, then it would be because she's investigating what the fuck is going on outside the residence with trying to protect the kid.
My nigga.
And this cop didn't even fucking go in the house. You didn't say, hey, police, anybody in there? Or even if you were looking through the window and seeing some shit, it's like, hey, police, come to the front door with your hands up. I need to see what's going on. We got to call a complaint. We need to sort this shit out. You fucking shot into a window to a quote unquote perceived threat. How? Fucking how? But anyway, the motherfucker was arrested and charged, but of course that don't mean shit. We gotta wait to the very fucking end of the trial and sentencing. But less than a day later,
gets there. If it gets there,
if it even gets there. But less than a day later, of course, this nigga is back home on bond because they raised the money to get this nigga the fuck out. So now I am twiddling my fingers again for an innocent Black person that was minding their own business in the comfort. If you can't even fucking be safe in your own fucking home, like you're not at the club, you're not doing anything crazy, you are at home chilling, and you're getting killed by police officers at home. What the fuck, y'all?
It's to the point where, like, I don't want my neighbors to call the police.
But I feel bad for the neighbor. I saw something where they were talking to the neighbor, and he was just like, yo, I feel so fucked up because literally if I had not called for Fort Worth PD, she would still be alive. Like, right. Literally, I did not even call like frantic, like, help me, what's going on? Like, I literally called the non-emergency line. I was like, I just want somebody to come over and make sure everything's straight because their door is unlocked. And now I have to, basically live with the fact that, like, because I made that call, somebody's life was taken. And I feel bad for this person because like I'm like, damn, maybe I should have just went over there and be like, yo, everything good? Like, what's going on? And now another Black person's life is taken. But like, who the fuck thinks that shit will happen? Not that we can, these days we can't live by who thought that something was going to happen. But like, dog, like, I literally didn't even call 911. I called non-emergency, and y'all come in guns a-blazing.
Right.
Sad as fuck.
I just feel like you don't need to be a cop if you scary as fuck. If your ass sees a person in a home and you instantly fire when there's no actual threat,
no weapon is being pointed at you, no one's running towards you, no type of aggressor, like, you have the upper hand. You don't need to be a cop. So you don't. If you're a scary nigga, that's not the fucking gig for you. Be a librarian. Don't fucking be a cop. Like, I'm tired of this excuse that it was a perceived threat or I was scared for my life. Get another fucking profession. I don't know what they need to do to change the fucking training for these fucking officers across the fucking country. But something gotta happen. Y'all niggas is wilding. Y'all doing this shit on purpose, and you trying to cover it up by, oh, I was scared. Oh shit, I thought they was gonna kill me. Dog, how?
I feel like that's in their training to say that shit.
Hell yeah, like, because it's like, cover it up later. Just be like, look, I feel threatened, and if a cop feels threatened, that's a green light to like shoot and ask questions later, no matter what the fuck the circumstances. So like, just use that, and we'll figure the shit out on the back end. Like, I really feel like that gotta be in like the little black book that only the cops get to see, because it's fucking crazy and it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
that's all I got. Hate to end on a trash note.
And I don't have any tea because I didn't do anything but get my hair done all weekend, and I had to study for my Security Plus, so I wasn't on my phone on social media. So
it's cool. I'm not faulting you back. I just hate that I left. I should have ended with Kiki and her baby and her uterus.
I mean, y'all don't be doing nothing. So
So look, good, bad, release.
Okay, who's?
I can go first because it sounded like you was thinking still.
Okay.
No shame. Let's see. How's that with bad and release the good? I guess I don't know. I always fuck up the order here. Which so bad. The germs continue. It's fucking week 3. We're going on. Every week my kid has something different. Or kids, because it isn't the same kid, even though this week is a repeat offender. It is my son. He now has a fucking skin infection because he has eczema, and eczema actually runs in both sides of the family. Like, I have a small spot of eczema, but my dad has like really bad eczema on his leg, and my husband, eczema runs in his family as well. So both of my kids are fucking doomed. They were just going to have it regardless. My daughter had it super bad when she was younger, and she kind of grew out of it, and now it's like more seasonal. Like, it really flares up a lot in the summer with the swimming pool and the heat and shit. That's when it like gets really bad for her. But for the most part, like, we got it manageable. My son's eczema is getting to a point where it's super, super bad. We use all the same Aveeno and all the products that we use with my daughter, the prescription hydrocortisone creams, all that good stuff that we use with our daughter. And yeah, it's not working for my son. His shit is a little bit more aggressive, and he scratches and scratches and scratches. And apparently he scratched so much that he got a skin infection, and we'll be taking both oral and topical, which is cream antibiotics, as well as taking his little ass to a dermatologist next week so that we can better manage his eczema. And I'm just tired of doctor's visits. I'm sure they're tired of seeing me, tired of me emailing them. This time, I actually did not go into the office. I was smart, and I used my little app, and I took pictures and sent it. It was like, hey, should I come in or not? Because look, I don't. Who has fucking time at this point? I'm tired of paying copays. Or do I need to come in or not? Like, so luckily she was like, nah, thanks for sending me the message. I'll go ahead and just call in these prescriptions, and I'll make the appointment for you for the specialist. So that's the bad, because like literally every fucking week is something different. Strep throat, croup, now skin infection. Next week, I don't fucking know. What's the surprise? Well, you never know. It's like every Monday, something new. Let's see. Release. I would like to release, I guess, negativity. And I know that sounds like super broad and stuff like that, but like, I don't know, I just feel like I need some more happiness in my life. Like, I'm feeling like dark cloudish and shit. So I don't know. I got to figure it out. My liaison is not helping me out, so I don't know if I need to locate sage and crystals on my fucking own, but I need to some kind of way get some good juju and get this negativity the fuck out and bring some positivity and happiness inside. And it's the holiday season, so like, I really need to jumpstart this fucking happiness, because yeah, it's usually the season for more depression and sadness during the holidays. So I'm just trying to, yay, be happy.
In my defense, the last 2 times I have seen you, we have not been able to look at crystals.
I know.
We've been busy.
We have. I'm just, we can talk offline.
Okay.
We need to figure it out, because I need something. I need my juju going in a good direction. And good. So I had a parent-teacher conference this week, actually on the holiday, that not everybody apparently it was a holiday for. And because I saw your status.
Yeah.
So
my bad.
No, but I went to a parent-teacher conference, and my daughter is lit, but I mean, I already knew that. But so they sent home these like in addition to meeting with her actual teacher, you can go to this additional conference with don't fucking know her title, but basically it's for the, damn it, I don't want to say talented and gifted, but it's kind of like for gifted kids. Like, when you're like, you excel in certain areas, the main areas being reading and math. And it's like, they basically explain the whole program on how they do the testing, and parents, you can elect it, and a lot of times they go by the testing, and they start the testing in the 2nd grade, which it actually comes up in November, where they start with that test, and based on those scores, then they kind of talk to parents and teachers, where they get the teachers' input to be like, hey, how's this student doing? Do you think that they're excelling in this area and they would benefit from being in this like higher program in this And then they also go to the parents, like, do you elect to put them in there? Because with that comes, like, everybody else with their, say it's math, their math curriculum for the class in third grade, because it wouldn't start until the third grade because you're being evaluated all second grade. And, for the third grade, everyone's having this third grade curriculum, but this other student, not only would they be doing their third grade curriculum, they would kind of have like a more accelerated advanced math, or if it's reading, they'll be reading. So I was like, oh, okay, well, like, I don't know, like, every parent thinks that their kid is gifted, so I'm like, I'll sit in it and see how she's doing. Like, I know she's really good in reading and stuff like that, but like math, she seems average. But I don't know, I'm not her fucking teacher. I just know when I'm doing homework with her and, like, report cards and stuff like that. So I'll sit down and get the information and see. And so then when I had the conference with her teacher, which my daughter is in the second grade, is reading at a fourth grade level. So she was like, my daughter already, so for the grades from kindergarten to second, they actually have that lady, which I can't think of her title. She actually goes from classroom to classroom in those grades for those teachers, for those kids who teachers kind of say, okay, they're kind of like excelling in this area. So like maybe when we're having guided reading, like we're going to put the kids that are on a higher level, you'll conduct the guided reading, and I'll, like, the ones who are on level or lower than the regular teacher does the guided reading or the math or whatever, depending on what subject. Apparently my bae is already having these readings with this lady in the higher reading group. So I'm not trying to say that my bae is gifted in reading, but like, I mean, bitch, that's 2 levels higher than what the fuck she's supposed to be reading on. So the teacher was telling me that because she was like, I don't want you, when you get a report card or, a status, when it says that maybe she doesn't exceed something and she's like just meeting it, or if she doesn't, I don't want you to get alarmed and think she's not reading at a second grade level. She's literally being graded at a fourth grade level. So if she doesn't meet something, it's because she's not meeting it at a fourth grade level. So if you have any questions, like, let me know, because like basically she already has like second grade shit down, like reading wise. Like, we're just at a higher curriculum, so I don't want you to be concerned. So the good is that my daughter is fucking lit, and I'm super fucking hyped, and I'm not going to say she's going to be in the gifted program, but my bitch about to be in the gifted program, like, because...
I was in the gifted program.
For real?
I was.
What subject, math or just period? Or reading?
I was in it for reading.
You seem like the type. You know what? You earthy joints. Y'all be reading.
Yes, I was. But then after a while, I wanted to get out of it.
It is a lot more work. Like the lady was even saying that, so once you are, like, I guess, identified in the third grade, like literally they cram 3 years worth of math into 2 years. And yeah. I mean, not math, but like math or reading, regardless, depending, because they were like, it's 3 different ways you're classified, like just reading, just math, or both. And so they, evaluate it. It's like a whole big process for them to even like, declare you as that, because like it goes towards a committee and, all this other stuff. And they look at like, not only the test scores, but like your performance in school and stuff like that. So I'm just excited that like, reading is like, she's always loved reading and she's really into it, and I'm just kind of low-key excited it's not math, because I'm not strong in math, and I'm just like, how I'm going to help a gifted child in math, because I'm gonna be needing a tutor. I'm like, bitch, I don't know, like, I'm about to come to your classes.
Me, it wasn't the workload for me. It was because I didn't have a teacher that told my parents to basically like not to be upset if I wasn't excelling,
right?
Because I wasn't reading at the level I should be reading at anyway. Mm-hmm. So my father is like, he just expected me to still have A's for everything.
Right.
And so when I came home with my very first C, it was like,
what the fuck are you doing?
Right. And I was just like, but nigga, I'm not even reading at the level that everybody else in my class is reading. Like I should get some grace.
Like, definitely. So, luckily, she explained that to me, because I would have been looking at the report card like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Nobody explained that.
So she definitely broke it down for me. So that sucks.
So I was like, yeah. this was cool for these. I think I did it for like 2 years. And after that, I was like, nope, I just want to read what everybody else. And then I can read my advanced shit at home by myself. So you was for pleasure.
I don't want you to have to dumb yourself down. No.
It wasn't about dumbing myself down. It was just, if you want A's, then here we go.
Right.
But don't be on my case about reading at an advanced level. And because I'm at an advanced level and I'm not getting an A, you at
like,
home
whoa,
fucking turning up like, my nigga. Have you forgotten?
I've mastered this shit already.
Yes.
Like, I'm moving on.
Yeah, I just went back to getting all A's and everyone was happy. So there's that.
Win-win. Yeah, that's it. What you got?
Okay, so my bad is that my job got on my fucking nerves today because we got a fucking inspection this week, and so it's two new people on my team that do the security review. Mm-hmm. This girl is dumb though.
Oh shit!
And I'm not even saying that to be mean. Like, she didn't know what a CPU was. She didn't know what symposium meant.
Oh,
like real like stupid.
Common sense shit.
Right. So I'm closer to being certified as a reviewer than her. Mm-hmm. So I was told that they were going to fast track me and put me on all these inspections so I could get qualified. Mm-hmm. And they were taking her off of them so that when I go out there to be trained, I would have whoever's training me sole attention.
Right.
At the last minute, they decided that she would go on there and we would figure it out.
Oh my God.
So because it's my second OJT, I'm running more of the inspection. Right. So they can kind of see what I'm made of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But she's there. So it's a lot of dumb fucking questions that have to be asked. And at the end of each day, you have to say, this is what I found. This is what we're going to work on. Da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't get prepared for that because I'm literally having to fucking explain dumb shit to her.
Right.
So I'm annoyed because I still need training. Like my fucking self.
Right.
The person that's training me, everybody's just like, oh, you're good. You don't need training.
Like,
don't fucking tell me what the fuck I need. I do need the training.
I want to be comfortable with my fucking job.
And if y'all want me to run this shit, like I'm the one doing the inspection, then somebody needs to handle the fucking deal. Because I'm tired. I don't like. They were having I was not having this conversation. I was trying to get the numbers together, and they started talking about Voltron. Like, totally fucking random. And she was like, I don't know what Voltron is. And so...
Like, bitch, what do you know?
The dude was like, you don't know what Voltron is? So then she's like, well, do you know what it is? Looking at me. I was like, bitch, do you know what the numbers are? Like
this is what we're working on right now.
I was like, I don't really care about Voltron right now. I really care about the numbers. Well, no, I was just saying because, I was like, so basically you didn't want to be the only one that didn't know. So you decided to ask me. What are we talking about? You need to focus, because right now your numbers don't match my numbers, and right now we got numbers to be. You know what I'm saying? So like,
we gotta match this the fuck up.
So we were literally, the meeting was starting, and we still didn't have our shit together. I didn't even realize the meeting had started, and so we're still like talking, trying to get it together. And so then we get chewed out because we're talking in the middle of the meeting, and I'm like, I didn't even hear, because I'm so like, we need to get this shit together. I didn't even fucking hear that they had started the shit. And then the team lead is like, we're the very next group that have to present our findings, and I don't even have the shit all the way together.
Right.
So I was just like winging it kind of, and they want to know like how much percentage you're done and all this other shit. Again, didn't have time to get there.
Right.
So I literally was just like, 25%, I don't know. So then the nigga that's training me, after everything is said and done, he writes on my notebook 40%. And I looked at him like, first of all, if your ass was over here actually fucking training us, you could have been here to goddamn steer her back into the right goddamn conversation, so we could have got this shit together.
You feeding into the dumbass questions.
Right. So I was like, well, that doesn't matter now, because it's like, what the fuck are we talking about? Why are you giving me these numbers now? And it's over. We've already briefed our part. So I guess tomorrow we're going to look amazing because we went from 25% to like 70%. I don't know. Right. But shut the fuck up. Right. So it's just, I am kind of a perfectionist in certain things. And like with my job, I like to be really good at what I do. Right. And I just feel like I'm not getting what I could be getting out of this with her there.
Yeah.
And then I'm also stressing myself out in the process because I don't know everything, but I'm being put on the spot to know these things.
Right.
Because everybody is like, Shay got it. She's running the show. And it's like, but I don't. And then the first person that trained me is not the person that's there now. And they have two totally different styles.
Ways of doing it.
So I'm going off of what I've experienced. And then this person is very meticulous. So it's shit that I would be like, but he's like, no, because da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, listen, I can't wait to be certified because then I don't have to go out with none of y'all motherfuckers.
Right.
Not this dumbass bitch. Not your meticulous ass, not your... I just can do my own thing. So, anywho, that was my bad. Y'all get on my nerves. Also, it's not really bad, but it's annoying. So, Dice alluded to this, but Columbus Day, was on Monday. Mm-hmm. And I assumed that was a holiday for my daughter as well, which is why I scheduled my sister lock installation for this weekend. So that way, if I needed an extra day, if in case I couldn't get my hair done in like 2 days, I would have that Monday. Well, them motherfuckers had school. So she's on the phone with her friend, and her friend is like talking about school and like, why weren't you there? And I was like, your friend lying. I ain't have school today. And I had saw that her school called, but they call all the time to leave these dumbass messages about like shit that's happening. I guess for the people that don't check their emails, because I check my email, so I don't need to also listen to the fucking voicemail.
Right.
And sure enough, it was like, your daughter wasn't at school today. Da-da-da-da. So I sent in a note to her homeroom teacher, because that's what we're told to do, send a note to him, and then he'll disseminate it to the office and everybody else. So Mara comes home and she's like, one of the teachers was like, just because yesterday was a holiday doesn't mean you could take the day off. Ooh. And so Mara was like, well, I was sick, because that's what my note said.
Right.
But I was sick. But bitch, who the fuck are you?
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm allowed to take my child out of school if I want to take her out of school.
Right.
Granted, I would not have done that. I would have made sure that I got her to school, but I did not know that. I honestly thought that she was off.
And then we were out, so it's just like, we just assumed all of them out of school.
But then other kids were out. Like her stepsisters, they didn't have school. So I'm just thinking this is like a thing.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying, because we was out too.
Yeah. And when I was in school, we had Columbus Day off. So again, mind y'all fucking business. Right. Like, but you don't get paid for that. So, right. Anywho, the good is my sister locks are installed. Even though I don't like the way they're looking right now, but it's that little beginning stage. If you know anything about locks, the beginning stage is never the best part. But we're gonna push through. And as far as releasing, I am going to release my fears and get into this jewelry thing that I had talked about like earlier this year. And I was bullshitting, but I just ordered me my little kit, and I ordered some crystals and stones and rocks, and we're going to start.
Oh, and I should be your first customer. Look how God be working.
Okay, there's that.
Or look how the powers of the world and the crystals work.
All right. So thanks for tuning in, guys.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. As always, we ask you guys to make sure that you go on to our Instagram and our Twitter and follow us. Like, share, subscribe, all that good shit, comment, all of that. We got a link tree in our Instagram that has not only links to everywhere we're streaming, it has a link to our website that has a cute little bio, all that good stuff, as well as embedded episodes.
At the Chatty
Patties. And we ask you guys to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And we will chat with you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.